Oh my God. Shut up. I'm just not even gonna. You're just not even gonna believe what I found. So, trying to find the names of everything. Remember, I said the last thing I had to do was find the name of the magic book that the cop finds. And I said, let's just call it the Book of Hohokum for now on. From now, like, just for now, let's just call it like Hokum Hakum, Hohokum, something like that, right? So I just thought I'm going to look it up because it sounds familiar. And I always knew, like, in the back of my head, I was thinking I could call it hokum, meaning like it's rubbish, it's nonsense, like it's a book, it's something that appears to be greater than it actually is, but when you actually look at it, it's not. It's hokum, it's nonsense. Hokum pokum, hocus pocus, like it's nonsense. It's like it's like a quack, like a quack, a doctor, a fake, like a quack would be. He teaches hokum. Oh, it's all hokum. It's all nonsense. It's like cold reading someone would be using hokum. So anyway, that's kind of how I knew it to be. But I thought, well, just look. But I thought, well, I might not call the book hokum because it's too obvious. And it's not a comedy. Like it would be sort of like people kind of chuckle and say, well, that's a bit unimaginative to call the Book of Hokum. But I thought, like, let's just look and see if there is like a hokum thing that means more than what I know it to be. And then I put in hokum and it said what I thought it said. And then I put in hokum Native American because I also thought there was something to do with Mesoamericans that had something to do with hokum as well. And it came up with Hohokum. And then I looked at what the Hohokum was. And they're a civilization of Mesoamericans, basically, or they call them Oasis Indians, Oasis Americans, or something, from around 300 BC. And apparently they were known for um, canals and redirecting basins and rivers and all that because they lived along trading posts. And so apparently they were very good with building canals and all of that to run clean water and that around where their trading posts were between um, basically like the Midwest to like South of America to sort of around the Mexico area. And they were called the Hohogum or the Hohokum. There were different ways to enunciate it, and there I am calling it the Book of Hohokum. Hukum Hakum Hokum. What do I call it? Hukum Hakum. And it's called Hohokum or Hohogum, and there was another one as well. I'll put a link in the description box. I kid you not. So it turns out what we're going to do is that this book that he's going to have from like 300 BC is going to be talking about how like you have to put the seal with the bloodline, with the knowledge and all of that together in order to open the portal, which is basically opening the floodgates, opening the pure waters. I mean, because that's what I was going to call the school that the kids come and stay at the foundation. Remember, I was going to call it Pure Waters. So opening the portal. I'm a water sign. The king's a water sign, and the scales in the middle. Libra. Vladimir is the scales. Oh my God. And we're going to even things out. It's going to balance things out. And the pure waters, the waters of imagination and creativity and communication and artistry and creativity and all of that, like it's all going to come gushing through and purify all the darkness that's in creative arts and, you know, the over sexualization of things. And not that we're necessarily going back to bubblegum, Dusty Springfield kind of, not that she was all bubblegum, but you know what I mean. Beach Boys kind of stuff, but at the same time, it's not going to be talking about wrist icicles. While the beats are good, the lyrics are questionable. Keep the music, change the lyrics. Not to teenagers, not to kids, anyway. So, the Book of Hohokum. The Book of Hohokum. And he can be like, is that a joke? Or, you know, whatever, and he can explain it. No, it's the they're believed to be even older than, well, so, apparently there's a debate. They think that they're older than Mesoamericans, that they were the, you know, like the first, and then the Mesoamericans came after them, you know, when from Mexico and all of that. So, but yeah, there's arguments, there's questions as to who came first, but they're pretty old, and it would make sense. And it also makes sense as to why I keep seeing Aztec things, Mexican things, Central South American things. It's in my bloodline. That's the Holy Spirit. That's the bloodline. That's what it's going to be in the fourth son. It's to do with the bloodline. It's all to do with the bloodline. And I think I know where I can weave it in too. So that's awesome. Actually, I know exactly where to weave it in. So that really is awesome, because then it would make sense as to why the Quantum Menace was here in the United Kingdom helping the king. It would make perfect sense. And then, the Russian cop is connected to the king through their bloodline. So that's how the triangle meets. So now I just have to connect the native bloodline of the Holy Spirit or the Quantum Menace to the cop in Russia. Once I connect, that's like that will be the trilogy. And I think I understand it, but it would be a past life thing. In real life, it would be a past life thing. But in the story, I'll have to see. But the Book of Hohokum, and it's all got to do with something to do with the colonies, slavery, grooming, trafficking, like all that sort of stuff, going back to even before the Bible. It sounds like, as we would, it sounds like that Unorthodox is going to go beyond the Bible and back to when we first left Africa. Oh my God, so that would make sense to like actual real life as well. Oh my God, what am I writing? Oh my God, what am I writing? So if I can find a link between my bloodline and Putin's in real life, how would I write that into the story? There'd have to be a link between the Hohokum, because it's the priest, it's the cop that has to read the book, and it's the cop reading the book that decides his fate, whether he's been judged to be good or bad, like on the side of God or against God. and it goes in his favour, like, you know, he doesn't get turned to dust. But there has to be a connection between that book and the Quantum Menace, which means in real life there will be a link between Russia and I to do with native blood, indigenous blood. And I have a feeling it could be when Russia used to be joined up to Alaska, or when they used to go between Russia and Alaska. But I don't know how that would equate to Putin, who was obviously the cop. Originally the priest, but I made him a cop. Because it makes more sense. But he's the cop that deals with all that sort of thing. Because, you know, they really do exist. There are departments. I don't know if they have them in Russia and that, which is why I originally was going to make him a priest, but I'm pretty sure they'd have divisions in most big police forces and countries and that that deal with the occult stuff. I'll have to figure this out when I get there, when I'm able to talk to actual Russian cops and veterans and, you know, all of that. I'll sit down and find it all out, and then I can tweak out the story. Then I can, like, you know, smooth it out and make it all make sense. I can attribute the connection to the past life, and if you look up this Hohokum thing, past lives and resurrections and bringing things up from the dead is actually very much part of their beliefs as well. So the portal opening up that I described before with the light coming through, it's purification. The light of purification is going to run like water, pretty much, once he opens the book, and he's judged to be of the light, and they put the three things together. It opens up the portal, and it's like the light is going to flood through like a water spilling out of a dam. It's just going to, the light of creation is just going to go rushing through. That's pretty much what it's saying. So the beam of light coming from the chest and the other dreams. So yeah, so okay, so they'd put the book down on the ground, they'll put the seal, he'll do the thing with his, proving his bloodline, and then the beam of light will come out and it'll open the portal, and then there'll be like a void where the darkness will get sucked into the light, and then the light will, like, once it's sucked up all the darkness, it will just like beam out this light of creation, and out of it will come entertainment, like, yeah, entertainment stories. It becomes about living in a world where the stories are taught, of the past, the darkness of the past, and what the world, you know, like after World War II, how all the stories came out about the war heroes and all the incredible feats that went on while the rest of us were keeping the home fires burning, and the boys were out there trying to protect us from the Nazis and that, and all the stories that came out about the heroism and the togetherness and all that. It's going to be like that. The light of creation will come flooding through, and then we'll just be like entertained with stories of how we fought the darkness and survived. Just like World War II. We'll tell the stories of, you know, how the world had to fight evil once more and we overcame it because we had God on our side, and, you know, that sort of thing. So we'll be able to make movies again like White Christmas and oh God, what's that one? What's the one where he wishes he was dead? I only just got it on DVD when the ex did what he did. It's a Wonderful Life. We'll go back to making movies like that. Wholesome ones. But we would get to tell this instead of like a new Independence Day, but instead of fighting aliens, we fought corporations. That sort of thing. A new way of seeing the world based on the hell we all just bloody came out of. And it's gonna put us all in a new direction. For all of us that jump on board that ship, it kind of tilts the scales in the direction of something completely brand new that people just didn't even see. Like they thought we were heading down that road, and we actually end up heading down that road because of the seal and the book of Hohokum. The book of Hohokum. So I'll put a link in the description box below. So yeah, I'm going to call it the book of Hohokum, and it's going to be based on an indigenous tale of the demons and devils and that tried to fight, to kill off families and tribes, and because the Hohokum apparently also were people made up of lots of different, like there was no, they all just worked together. So yeah, so interesting. So now I've got to call it the Book of Hohokum and turn it like into a whole indigenous mythology now, where he has to go native for a bit in order to be able to open this portal. So now I have to find the link in real life. I can from a past life perspective, but I need to find a connection in real life. There has to be one somewhere. So I shall speak to you later. Ka kite anō. Mwah.